So I was talking about the process or understanding what we do with soldiers who come back. And I'm saying that you have to have a comprehensive understanding of that and a comprehensive model of a way of thinking about what people need when they come back from that. And that first part of it is getting that adrenaline down, getting that sympathetic response under control, activating the parasympathetic, but not overactivating it so that you come back in a healing way. So, and that's all in the first phase. So what you do with people is, first of all, you remove them from danger. You take them away from those things that are going to activate that. You provide them with a safe place to rest. You provide them with food, with water. You allow them some time to restore their body, to have a little distance. And in that, you also want to figure out how to control any symptomatic responses they're having. If they are having flashbacks, if they are having intrusive images or nightmares, that's going to disturb their sleep. If they are avoiding having contact with people they love because they're afraid that as soon as they see that person they love, they're going to lose control, and so they're going to break down. You have to provide them with a way to manage all these symptoms. And that's the first phase, is creating a safe environment and managing the symptoms. TFT is the best thing in the world I've ever seen to manage those overwhelming symptoms. And I've been doing this a long time. I've been trained in eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. I've had a lot of experience doing cognitive work, doing group work, and TFT helps manage those symptoms better than anything else. Once you have the symptoms managed, you're in a safe environment, then you can move to the second stage, the second phase of working with this, which is what I refer to as working through the trauma, which is beginning to say, what happened to me? How did it happen to me? What was my role in it? What were other people's roles in it? Was I too active? Was I passive? What should I have done? What have other people done? In order to do that, you have to be able to manage the symptoms, to be able to ask those questions. But it's an incredibly important part of the process because we're human beings and we have to make sense out of what's happened. We have to be able to put a temporal spatial map to the events and to our experience. And that's how we make sense of our lives. So the second part of it is that you sit with people and you help them walk through those events. And if you're a specialist in this and you have some experience, this is where you provide lots of education, lots of information about what is normal, about what other people have done, what other people have not done, and what the consequences have been. Helping people come to grips with the reality of things. Did you make a mistake? Well, if you did, you got to look at it. You got to own it. If you didn't, you've got to look at that and you've got to say, I didn't make a mistake. You have to walk through the trauma to make sense out of where you're at today and what you did and what you didn't do. And so that part has to happen even if people don't have symptoms. They have to be able to own their experience. And then the third part of it is that we have to be able to make sense out of our lives. We're meaning-seeking creatures thrown into a meaningless existence. I mean, that's the standard existential line. But I think there's a lot of truth to that. And I think we have to make sense out of what we've done and how we've responded. And so that's the third phase, and that's what I refer to as the scripting the meaning, or the meaning-making phase of it. And so this is where you ask the questions like, now that this has happened to me, what does it mean about my relationship to myself? What does it mean about my relationship to the people that I love? What does it mean about my relationship to God? And to begin to look at what have I really learned in this process. So the idea here is that you have to make meaning of this. So you have to, after you begin to ask those questions about how has this changed me and changed my relationships to myself, to the people I love, to God, and where am I going to go with what I've learned and what I know and how I've changed. And in that phase, it's a lot of contemplating who you are. It's a lot of talking about how what you've gone through has affected your identity, or how your identity has affected what you've gone through. And so you come out of it feeling that whatever it was, it's part of who you are now, and that you can go forward.